Happy Saturday night. Game being played in Ames, Iowa. 69 degrees for our kickoff. Got a hint of wind, a little bit of humidity as well. Well, Iowa State for the last 6 seasons have been led by that man, Matt Campbell. Fresh-faced Matt Campbell, still just 41 years of age, 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. Good golly, Miss Molly. He'll be matching wits with Lance Leipold, now in his first year with the Kansas program. And an asterisk next to this year, no doubt about it, because he got the job so late in the spring. But trying to figure it out, wherever he's been, he has won, both at UW-Whitewater and most recently at Buffalo. Now, they've been playing this game since the 1800s. Yowza! And so far, so good for the Jayhawks. They lead the all-time series 50, 44, and 6. This is the 101st meeting, but look at the Cyclones. They're starting to claw their way back. They've won the last 6 meetings. All right, the coin has been flipped. Kansas won the toss, and they want to start with the football. All right, let's do it. Both teams trying to get back to winning ways. Kansas 1 win on the year. Iowa State 2 up and 2 down. And we begin the game with a touchback. Ball to be spotted at the 25-yard line. And let's talk about the young quarterback for the Kansas Jayhawks, Jason Bean.
Yeah, he was pretty good last week. Great kid is what Coach had to say about him, right? A great kid who he really loves the way he continues to improve, and he built on all the things he worked on all summer. They didn't get a chance to see him throw until the first day of camp, right?
Crazy.
And so it's been very tough for them to evaluate, and he has gotten all the reps that he missed out on because of the competition in camp.
And Bean is a string bean, 6'3", 189 pounds. And the Jayhawks start on the ground. Devin Neal right up the gut for a handful. Tackle made by Jake Hummel. Let's talk about this Kansas offense as we look at the big fellas up front.
Yeah, those big fellas are trying to get their groove, right? They got a running back in the young freshman, Neal, who rushed for 100 yards. I mean, I don't know how many times they're going to have a 100-yard rusher. They're going to try to get that again. Also, Torrey Lachlan had 2 touchdowns last week, different ways. Look, he's their Swift Army knife.
Lachlan in the game right now in the backfield next to Bean. They give it to him, and Lachlan darts out to the 30. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Well, let's talk about the Iowa State Cyclone defense. There's a bunch of difference makers. There's some guys who can really play.
Yeah, how about Will McDonald, one of the great athletes on that defense, all-state in football, basketball, and track and field in high school, and that's why he's so explosive on that defensive line.
We show you 5 defensive backs. That's what they do. They run a 3-3-5. 3 down linemen most times, 3 backers, and 5 defensive backs. 3rd down play call, and the pass is knocked away from Kwame Lassiter II. So that'll force a punting situation for Kansas. The 3 and out. TJ Tampa was the man who got his hand on the football to deflect it away.
Yeah, Iowa State is comfortable playing their man defense. You see Kansas State's trying to do like a mud huddle, right, so that the defense cannot get a beat on what they're trying to do and how they line up. But they come out, they try to run a slant at the bottom of the screen, and it's stopped by that man defense.
Reese Vernon comes on to punt it away. Jalen Null is going to be back deep to receive. Special teams an important part of today's game, particularly for Iowa State. They have struggled this year on special teams. Fair catch called for and made at the 29-yard line. It is a 41-yard punt by Vernon. All right, let's talk about this Purdy quarterback. Brock Purdy approaching 10,000 career yards.
Yeah, we talked in the open about Breece Hall, but we cannot forget Mr. Purdy. Like you said, 10,000 yards, right? That's a milestone that many I mean, I played college football, and I did not reach that milestone. So 4 years as a starter, he's been the model of consistency, and they look forward to him continuing that consistency in this game.
39th start for Brock Purdy. He has got 25 wins, just 13 losses as the starting quarterback with the Cyclones. And they start on the ground with Breece Hall. Why not? This kid's a stud. And Hall rips off a big gainer, a pickup of 18 yards right out of the chute.
We talked in the open about his vision, right? He takes this inside zone that's supposed to hit on the left, then he jump cuts and finds the cutback lane that's designed by the offensive line, getting movement off the ball.
They give it to Hall again. Hall had a huge game against Kansas last year. Rushed for over 180 yards against his home state team.
Yeah, his best day to this point.
Now this is the offensive lineman in front of Hall doing their work. Nice skill position players as well. Pay attention to those tight ends.
Tight ends, they love to use their tight ends, and we're going to have some graphics about how much they like to use those tight ends coming up here soon.
Everyone talks about Charlie Kohler, but it was Chase Allen who had the big game last week in the loss against Baylor. Second down at 7. This time they fake it to Hall. Little dump down. That's Skates. I apologize. Xavier Hutchinson with the catch. Short gain. It's going to bring up 3 down. Let's talk about the Kansas Jayhawks defense. Kyron Johnson, they say maybe the fastest player on the team. Not just defensive lineman, the fastest player of the whole team.
Yeah, Gavin Potter, one of the leaders on their defense as well.
And we should mention Kansas is playing without Kenny Logan to begin the game. Logan is one of their difference makers defensively as a safety. Had a targeting call late in the game against Duke last week and will have to sit out the first 30 minutes today. Third down and 4. Purdy in trouble. Gonna use his legs. He's got the first down. A lot of different weapons that Iowa State can hurt you with.
It's a very good job. You got 4-man rush from Kansas, so they don't blitz a guy, but they have everybody covered. And what does Purdy do? He sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical quickly to get 4 yards. That's a dimension that he doesn't use a whole bunch, but great ball security, right? 2 hands on the ball, moving throughout the pocket, and then get down.
So it's a pickup of 9. Fresh set of downs. First down and 10, and Iowa State, they're on the move.
It was really cool to see how quickly Purdy gets through his reads, right? 39 starts.
Nothing like experience. Hall uses a block from Purdy, and he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Romello Dotson came up from his cornerback spot to make the tackle. Dotson may be the best cover corner that Kansas has, but he's got tackling skills in the open field as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you get this young man down you see on your screen in open field one-on-one, I mean, it's a tough thing to do.
So a gain of 2, they're going to call it. Second down and 8. Jyrell Brock comes into the game. So we got a Brock in the backfield. Blitz. Quick out. It's caught. This is Hutchinson. And Hutchinson has a touchdown. Right out of the chute, Iowa State. They put up 6. "36 yards on the pitch and catch." Purdy to Hutchinson.
Timing and ball play. You're going to get a spray release out, right, to attack the leverage of the DB. The ball is placed perfectly on the outside shoulder, and he takes that ball and gets in the end zone. The defense isn't bad, but there's no defense for a perfect offense. Very good job by Purdy putting that ball exactly where it needed to be.
6 plays, 70 yards. They took 3 minutes and 7 seconds off the game clock, and they lead 7-0. Great start for Iowa State on offense. Hutchinson turns the corner. No one's going to catch him down that sideline. Third touchdown of the season for Xavier Hutchinson. And we haven't even played 5 minutes, and we already have a 7-0 lead for Iowa State over Kansas. 6 plays, 70-yard drive capped off by the pitch and catch Purdy to Hutchinson.
It was a Purdy play to start this game for the first touchdown of the day.
Hey, you couldn't have asked for a better start for Iowa State. They force a 3-and-out, and then when they get the ball, they march right down the field and put it in the end zone.
How about the details, right? You're going to have this safety right here. He's going to blitz, right? So it's going to leave man-to-man on the outside. When you have an outside leverage corner, you don't want to run straight, right? You want to get outside him and break out on this out route, and that's why this play is so successful. The details that Iowa State has started this game with perfect throw, that's going to be conducive to success all day. Strong hands by Hutchinson as well.
All right, Kansas, second time with the football. It's Lachlan in the backfield, and we have a flag, and the ball drops down to the floor. It's picked up by Bean, but that was a whole bunch of nothing right out of the chute.
Jason Bean recovers the fumble. Penalty marker on the play.
Here's David Alvarez.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 players in the backfield. The penalty is declined. Second down.
That is Lance Leipold, and I'm sure that he and the offense were hoping that that was no play, but it actually was a play, so they lost yards, and so they're moving backwards. And it's now second down. They're playing from behind the sticks.
Yeah, coaches on both sides of the ball for Kansas, they said we don't have erasers, right? We don't have guys that can help us when we get behind the chains or when we're out of place, and this is not a good start to start the game.
Bean, he's got time. In trouble. Lost it again, and Iowa State has the football. Zach Peterson jumps on the football. It's a turnover, Cyclone ball.
I mean, he has all the time in the world, and he's usually most comfortable here. But this is why they love to keep 2 hands on the ball, because he's running and it goes off of his thigh. I mean, if you go into a game and you say, okay, this is how we do not want the game to start. This is about exactly how you would have drawn it up. A 3-and-out quickly. Iowa State goes down and scores, and then on the first play, a fumbled snap, and then on the next play, you were running clear, and the ball comes off of your thigh.
So not much of a blow for the Iowa State offense, but they don't mind. Point blank range, ball's on the 24-yard line.
I take a shot here. Give it an opportunity.
Purdy keeps it to the edge. Purdy out of bounds at the 10. 14 yards for the senior quarterback. Kyron Johnson ran him out of bounds.
These are the things that open up when you have an unanimous All-American running back, right? You're going to get everybody trying to stop the run, and the quarterback can essentially walk on the outside and pick up a first down.
Hall to the 6. Breece Hall has been a touchdown maker for 3 years in Ames. 16 straight games he has had a rushing touchdown. This is Bryce Hall territory right now.
See the referee standing over the ball. Iowa State substituted, so they allow Kansas to get the opportunity to do the same. The top of your screen, the receivers start off with leverage.
They fake it to Hall. Purdy. Back in the end zone, did he? Yes! Touchdown, Charlie Kohler. .6'6", 250 pounds, pays off in the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah, it's like a big rebound, and he goes up and gets it. And it started with Brock Purdy extending the play, then give it a chance, right? Either your guy gets it or nobody does. And that 6'6" frame goes and snatches it out of the air. I mean, he's one of the only people that could have gotten that ball. There's not a whole bunch of humans with that length that can reach out of bounds to catch the ball and keep a foot in bounds. Very good job by Kohler.
19th receiving touchdown for Kohler, and it's a 13-0 lead so early in this ball game for Iowa State.
Find a way to get open for his quarterback, but I mean, he's not essentially open, right? But you throw that ball a little out of bounds, and his big 6'6" frame can reach and get it. Very, very nice play.
Connor Asali. Man, 14 love. Kansas lost the football. Iowa State makes them pay. 2 touchdowns in 6 minutes of game time. Second touchdown of the season for Charlie Kohler, 19th career touchdown. Senior tight end from Norman, Oklahoma. Didn't come to this program with a lot of ballyhoo, but he's going to leave with a ton of accolades. He is an absolute stud. You saw it on that touchdown grab just a moment ago.
Yeah, Kohler from Norman, Oklahoma. And that last play you saw was like a rebound, right? I'll tell you a little bit more about that after this.
Another touchback. Well, for those of you who missed the first 6 minutes, this is it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, I can guarantee that Coach Leipold did not expect to get off the bus with 6 minutes into the game, have a turnover, a touchdown score, and another touchdown score off of that turnover. You can see here Purdy getting on the edge and getting the ball to Kohler on the second play, right? That second reaction. And he goes up like a true basketball player from Norman, Oklahoma. His high school basketball teammate, Trae Young.
Oh, my goodness.
Point guard,
oh, my
Atlanta Hawks. So he knows a little bit about going and getting rebounds, huh?
Trae didn't miss very much. All right, a little bit of a positive right there. Stephen McBride makes the catch, first of the day for him. First two possessions for Jason Bean. And the Kansas Jayhawks, a 3-and-out. That was actually their glory days, considered their second possession resulted in a fumble that set up Iowa State in point-blank range.
Yeah, the one positive thing you can say here, Jason Bean, you have nowhere to go but up, right? You got a fumble snap, and then on the next play, you got a fumble that turns it over to the defense. He comes out with that nice completion right there to start this drive.
And they fake the inside handoff. Bean keeps it himself. And Bean charges forward for a decent gain on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. It's a pickup of 4 yards. Actually saw in the backfield last play. Kyler Pearson getting some playing time. Number 27 for Kansas. Didn't expect to see him. This is Neal. This is another freshman. Devin Neal, the freshman from Lawrence High School in Lawrence, Kansas. Had his first 100-yard day last week at Duke. Big chunk of his day coming on one run, 62-yard scamper in the third quarter. Gain of just 1, so it's going to bring up 3rd down for Kansas. I'd really like to stay on the field.
That would be nice.
Pitch and catch out to Lassiter, and I don't know. He caught it right by the sticks, but he's pushed out of bounds. It looked to be short. Datron Young got him out of bounds. It's 4th down and inches.
There's a lot of youth on this team, but Lassiter's not one of those youthful guys. You have to know the situation. He does a great job. The coaches put him in position to not get press coverage, right? You get him in motion, so now he can get a free release. He gets it, and he doesn't get enough for the first down. That is something that you expect from a freshman, a sophomore, whom they play a lot of, not your 5th-year senior.
They're going to go for it on 4th down, looks like. Bean, Neal, oh man, bad idea. Eric Horn snuffs it out. And Iowa State's got it back on downs.
A week ago, Coach Matt Campbell was not happy about the effort, the attention to detail. That attention to detail has them with the ball, and let's see if they can score again.
And possession of the ball at the 44-yard line. So back-to-back possessions starting on the Kansas 24 and on the Kansas 44. Brock Purdy wants a bunch. Looking for the home run ball. Oh my goodness. How wide open was Xavier Hutchinson? I'm sorry, Joe Skates. A 44-yard touchdown to Skates. An absolute blitzkrieg right now for Iowa State.
point back to the All-American running back. You have to try to get your safeties involved, and when you do that, you open up the back end of your defense to plays like that from Skates.
We told you that Kansas is playing without one of their starting safeties, Kenny Logan, and maybe he was missed right there. Third touchdown pass of the quarter for Purdy. Andrew Mevis now using his leg to get the extra point. And look at that score, 21 rip.
He's just going to get straight down the field. You're going to have a safety right here who's going to come down because of the threat of Breece Hall. And he's still looking at him, right? As we speak right now, he's still looking to see if Breece Hall has the ball. And when Breece Hall doesn't have the ball, you got Skates in the end zone. I mean, you've thrown, what, 4 passes? And you have 3 touchdowns? I mean,
yeah, what's the quarterback rating on that?
Can't get much better. I mean, I guess he could, have 4 touchdowns with 4 pass attempts. So, he could be doing better.
Oh, my goodness. 4 for 4, 89 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, he's ran it twice for 24 yards.
On first downs. First downs.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
I mean, when you played last week, right, the attention to detail just wasn't there. That's what Coach Matt Campbell said. He said he loved the effort. He loved how his team played hard, how they tried to finish. But the detail, especially in the first half, just wasn't there. When his team comes out and pays attention to detail the way they have, I'm sure he's very excited.
Another touchback, so Kansas will start on the 25-yard.
You get punched in the mouth. Well, Kansas, you have been punched in the mouth in a big way. Bean, how do you respond? Let's see what they do right here.
Fourth possession of the quarter for Kansas. Lachlan darts forward for a gain of a ½ yard. Zach Peterson, who picked up a fumble a couple of moments ago, credited with that tackle. Lachlan coming off a 2-touchdown game a week ago. Here's a good look at Zach Peterson, senior from Long Grove, Iowa. His defense has been really good this year, in the top 5 in the entire country in a number of categories. Second down and 9. Designed rollout. Bean, best pass of the day. Caught by Trevor Wilson. First down, Jayhawks, 20 yards.
Coach Leipold said when our quarterback is struggling, when he's not feeling good, when he hasn't seen completions, what do we want to do? We want to run nakeds, right? We want to get him on the move so we can use his legs to make him more comfortable in the passing game. On a week where he comes off of the best passing day of his career, that's a very good job of getting your quarterback going and giving him an opportunity to see completions.
Yeah, offense wasn't the problem last week for Kansas. They had 530 total yards against Duke. It's a big number. Another pitch and catch. This time it's Lassiter. And they're across midfield, a gain of 14 yards.
I just talked about it. Get him on the edge and find a way to get easy completions. You're going to get a quick out route from the number 2 receiver. He's going to put it a little bit on the back hip, right? But it does a good job because the receiver can turn upfield and get vertical to get the first down. Can Bean continue to be comfortable, right? Can he continue to make plays with his arm and legs as this game continues?
Again, they had that kind of mud huddle, and now they get into standard formation, and a bobbled snap doesn't mess up the play. Look at Neal. Neal to the edge, down to the 20. Tackle made by Bo Freeler, but a big rip by the freshman tailback.
Usually when you bobble a snap and throw a pitch behind, you get Neal, but Neal gets the ball and gets vertical in a hurry. And you kind of see this on the kickoff, right, where you have a kickoff and he bobbles it, and then he takes off for 95 yards. Great job by Neal, getting the ball and getting vertical, getting the first down. Big play, biggest play of the day for Kansas.
Iowa State normally stout against the run. They give up an average of 2 yards per rush, but that's a gain of 21 for Neal.
Tell you that bobble snap, you start salivating and then you miss your assignments.
Lachlan slow through the hole. There is a flag down. Isaiah Lee, amongst others, wraps him up. But let's figure out this flag on the field.
Gonna get a holding left tackle.
Well, that's a kick in the pants.
There is no foul. Illegal formation. Second down.
All right. So Kansas thrilled with that outcome. It's now 2nd down. Jason Bean, Jr. from Mansfield, Texas, started his college experience at North Texas. First year in the Jayhawk program. An elite runner. I'm talking elite track runner. Last 3 plays before that most recent one, pickups of 19, 14, and 21 for Kansas. Nobody home. That'll bring up 3rd down.
They put 4 guys to the boundary to try to get a mismatch right to the field. And they try to get the ball up. Obviously, it's covered, and he throws it out of bounds. Safe throw. Brings up a 3rd and 9, right? You don't want to turn the ball over down here when you possibly have points with a field goal. Find a way to keep the ball in your hands. Attempt a field goal if you don't get the 1st down here on 3rd and 9. But I expect them to try to put him on the move. And if he doesn't get put on the move naturally, he does it within the structure of the play.
They need to get to the 10-yard line. Inside run by Lachlan. Good job of fighting, but just nothing there. Greg Eisworth with the tackle. And the field goal unit will have to come on, you would imagine.
Coach Leipold thinking just like, hey, we have 3, right? We have 3. Let's not mess it up by throwing an interception or our quarterback, we've seen him already run and hit the ball off his leg. Let's keep the 3 points and run the ball.
All right, all of a sudden, this is an important kick right here.
Yeah.
Trying to get some mojo going. Jacob Porchilla comes on. Sophomore kicker. He's got a big leg. This should be child's play for him. 34-yarder. Oh, it's blocked at the line.
And it could be returned.
It's loose. This is Eisworth. Eisworth got it coming the other way. He's down to the 32-yard line. So Kansas, they fail in their attempt to get 3. And now it's once again great field position for Iowa State.
Everything that Iowa State wanted to work on from last week, they are doing, and it starts right here on this play with a great special teams play where everybody's getting through, and a number of guys had an opportunity to block that ball, and then it lands in the hands of Greg Eisworth.
I think it was Enyi Uwazurike who got a hand on that.
Let's see.
Kid out of Detroit.
The Detroit native makes a play.
That's what you guys do in Detroit. Right?
Absolutely. Southfield High School.
Majoring in block kicks. Once again, unbelievable starting field position for the Cyclones. This is Brees Hall. Rips off 11 yards on 1st down. This has just kind of really hurt the Kansas Jayhawk fans. You watch Brees Hall, who is a stud. He is from Wichita, Kansas. Native of the Sunflower State who got away.
And if they don't have some discipline in their rush lanes, he's going to get away again.
Hall puts his foot in the ground. Inside the 10, down to the 7.
He's getting away from him, right? You have to protect the edge. They have an extremely soft edge, and it's very easy to get the blocks, these advantageous looks that they're giving, but he is absolutely carving up this Kansas defense, and it's because of the way they're aligned, right? Look at up here, right? It's
Hall, very patient. Purdy was out there sticking his nose in there, looking to get a block. Ineffective. Jacoby Bryant throws him out of bounds. No gain for Hall. Final $1:15 of our first quarter. It's been all Iowa State. Brock Purdy has not thrown an incompletion here in our first stanza. 4 for 4 with 3 touchdowns. Second down and goal. Purdy, Brock, touchdown. Brock to Brock on that score. It's the 4th touchdown pass of the quarter for Brock Purdy.
wow. I mean, can't start start any better, but Brock Purdy, he goes through his read so quickly, right to left, and then he finds his check down who got out because he did need to stand and protect. Very good job. And I'm telling you, you can't say it enough. That's what you get when you get a guy who's played 39 starts. 39 starts. He gets through his reads quickly. He gets through 4 receivers and then gets this check down, and he's wide open to walk in the end zone.
70th career touchdown pass for Purdy. A sally, the extra point, and it's a 28-0 lead for the home team. Iowa State opening up a can here on Kansas in the first quarter. Welcome back, everyone. Look at this. 28-0. Iowa State on top of Kansas, and it's been nothing but the passing game. Hadn't even Brees Hall as of yet. 4 touchdown passes for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, the still line from Anchorman. Man, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast. Brock Purdy came to play. I mean, I've never had a day where I threw 5 passes, now complete them all. 4 of them were for touchdowns.
Another touchback. While we have a moment, let's check in with Mike Hill out in L.A. Mike, what's going on?
It's Eric and Devin, back to you.
Thank you so much. Brilliant stuff. With Devin Gardner, I'm Eric Collins. You got Dean Blandino at the ready, as always.
If we should need him.
Do we ever have a kerfluffle? Devin Neal lowers the head. He's been impressive here in the first quarter. Isheem Young, but a good gain by the freshman Neal.
Yeah, you talked about Brees Hall getting away from him, right? This is another Kansas native that did not get away, and they're excited about his improvement and his development as he comes into this game, coming off a career day a week ago.
May have one more play remaining here in our first quarter. Neal makes the first man miss. Woo! Look at that little Zuzu in the hole. This kid's been impressive. Don't go to sleep just yet on Kansas. Tackle made by Eric Horn, but another 10-yard gain for the freshman Devin Neal. And that will do it for our first quarter of play. Iowa State, man, some haymakers here in the first 15 minutes. 4 touchdown passes. They lead Kansas 28-0. Let's see. What a first quarter for Matt Campbell in Iowa State. 28 points they score on Kansas. In case you're wondering, yeah, it is. New school record. The previous record for points in the first quarter was 26. Exactly 50 years ago. That team with Iowa State in 1971 had some names. The head coach, Johnny Majors, would eventually go on to win a national championship with Tony Dorsett and the Pitt Panthers. The defensive coordinator for Iowa State in 71, Jackie Sherrill, renowned coach back in the 70s and the 80s. Pretty cool stuff.
Who doesn't love a nice hurdle? 12-on-12 crime there. He tries to get over. I call that one a tie, right? He stopped him a little bit. Didn't completely get embarrassed. Didn't clear him, right? I call that a tie on those 2 12s.
Gain of 5 for Torrey Lachlan. Lachlan spelling Devin Neal, who had a nice first quarter. Neal 7 carries, 51 yards. Lachlan still in the game. Bean. Lachlan. And he's hit hard as he lost his footing. Kimani King with the tackle.
They try to set up a bit of like kind of a throwback with Lachlan, their Swiss Army knife. Bean got in trouble a little bit and had to roll toward where he was trying to throw it and brought a little of the defense over there. Let's see if they try to get him on the move again, right? Get Jason Bean on the move so he can make a play with his arm or legs on a third and very favorable, right? They haven't had this favorable field position this entire game.
Down 28-0. This could be 4-down territory. Incomplete. Looking for Trevor Wilson. So 4th down and the decision. What do you do? 4th down and 4. You're already down 28-0. You're on the Kansas, check that, the Iowa State side of the field.
Bean just doesn't look comfortable. If you put him on the move, he'll have more comfortability and is able to make plays because he has the option to move his legs, and that's why they're going to punt it away here. They just don't see him being comfortable enough, and you don't want to just concede to losing the game and getting blown out, right? You want to give yourself a chance, and this is the only way you can do that at midfield.
Reese Vernon comes on to kick it away. And the ball spins into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. You fans of history, you have seen the greatest one-quarter performance in the history of Iowa State football for a quarterback. Brock Purdy, 5 for 5, 96 yards, 4 touchdowns, a passer rating of 525.3. No lie.
525 points. I mean, just add to the long list of records and accolades to Brock Purdy's illustrious career.
Brees Hall. Hall had 51 yards in his first quarter. This time a short game on first down. A pickup of 3, maybe 4. Tackle made by Rich Miller. Miller was active a week ago. There he is, number 30. He had 14 tackles in the game against Duke. He is from Detroit, Michigan.
Another Detroit kid on this football field making a play. Like you said, big day last week, 14 tackles from Detroit King, who has produced a bunch of talented players.
Tougher than woodpecker lips is Rich Miller. Out of the backfield, this is Hall. Short gain again. It's going to bring up 3rd down and manageable. 3rd down and 2. Apologize, that was a gain of 2. It'll be a 3rd down and 3, maybe 4, right around that area. And Brees Hall will come out of the game.
Brock Purdy has to do better. I mean, that 525 is going down if he doesn't keep throwing touchdowns. These completions just aren't going to cut it, you know.
I'm actually told the highest you can have as a quarterback rating is 700. Wow. So he's got some work to do.
He's got some work to do.
And we've got a whistle and a flag. David Alvarez.
Ball start, offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Tyler Miller. He is one of the tackles that rotates in. Not a starter, just a freshman, but getting an opportunity. He's a big fella, man. He blocks out the sun. 6'9", 320 pounds.
So when he flinches, you just better bet that the referee is going to see it.
He's had a pork tenderloin sandwich before. That's the first accepted penalty for either side.
Cola right here on 3rd down. He's a big-time target for Purdy.
They put Null in motion. And another flag comes down. Purdy just has to throw it away. That could be the first incompletion of the day for Brock Purdy. We'll see whether or not the flag changes that. If that is indeed an incompletion, his scholarship is taken away.
Number 66, that penalty is declined. 4th down.
So 2 consecutive penalties called on Tyler Miller. So the penalty is declined. So the incomplete pass is going to stay on Purdy's record. That's his first incompletion, and we're at the 11:37 mark of our 2nd quarter.
You know, the one thing about being an offensive lineman, you never get your name called or your number called on television unless you do something wrong. And Tyler Miller has gotten his name called on 2 consecutive plays.
Cameron Shook is going to punt this away. First punt of the game for Iowa State. Fair catch called for and made by Lassiter. Let's take. All the Ohio State fans are hoping that Oregon is going to run the table and make that loss that Ohio State had against Oregon look a little bit impressive, but Stanford says no, no, no. Gain of 1, maybe 2. Zach Peterson makes the tackle. Now, we spent so much time talking about how good Iowa State was offensively in that first quarter. Maybe didn't give enough props to John Haycock's defense. Iowa State's defense really good in the first half, historically great in the second half this year.
Yeah, I mean, they had a bad half a week ago, and Coach Matt Campbell was not happy with it, but like I said earlier, he liked the effort. He loved where the force was, how they played, but they just didn't have attention to detail. Early in this game, they have been exceptional on the small details, right? Forcing players inside when you need to, being in your rushing lanes, not being a hero, right? Doing your job. They're doing a great job of that to start this game.
Loss of a yard. It's 3rd down and 10. That's Will McDonald looking at.
There's a big reason why this defense is so good.
21 career sacks for Will McDonald. 3rd down. Tons of time for Bean. Throws a dart, complete. Chains will move all the way down to the 30-yard line. That's Trevor Wilson.
Iowa State doesn't want huge plays being created with the legs of Bean, so they rush him, but they don't quite try to go after him, so he has all day to throw. So now you just have to find a way to get open in the hole. He does a good job of finding Trevor Wilson there. Very good job by Bean, knowing what the defense is giving him, right? A kind of a much rush where we're not trying to rush you. We don't want to sack you. We want to make sure you don't hurt us with your legs, and he proves that he can stand strong in the pocket and make a throw.
On 3rd and 10, they pick up 26. This is Neal. Neal with 52 yards on 8 carries before that run. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Mike Rose, among others, credited with that tackle. There's Mike Rose, Big 12 Player of the Year on the defensive side a year ago. Senior from Cleveland, Ohio.
First true freshman when he was a freshman to start a season opener, and he's been in the play ever since then. And like you said, best defensive player in the Big 12 last year.
You talk about these Detroit kids. They make them tough in Cleveland, too. Bean to the end zone. Too strong, looking for Lawrence Arnold.
Incomplete, but I love the call. I love attack, right? You're down 28. You're down 28. You can't hold anything back. Give yourself a chance in this game. Safe throw where it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, or your guy's going to get it. He actually got behind the defense. He was a little finer with the throw. He might be able to complete that. But now you have a 3rd and 9. Find a way to get your quarterback on the move so he can make a play. If I'm Iowa State, I do not give that much rush again, right? I go after him, and I actually put pressure on him with one of these linebackers.
3rd down and 9. Blitz is picked up. Bean. Look at the wheels. This kid can scoop. He's got the 1st down. Making something out of nothing, Jason Bean. How do you do?
On the last 3rd down, that's what Iowa State was afraid of. They send pressure right through the middle there. He sees it, backs out, and then it's all the athleticism in his legs. Will McDonald is a great athlete, but this young quarterback is a little bit better. Gets on the edge and gets the 1st down and makes this drive continue. Down 28, you have got to find a way to put a drive together to give yourself a chance.
Elite speed's a great equalizer. 13 yards on the ground for Bean. Ball's at the 16. Inside handoff, Lachlan. Lachlan getting good playing time here in the 1st half after the 2-touchdown game he had last week.
One through the air, one on the ground. Swiss Army knife, right? He's that back that everybody loves. Can he catch it out of the backfield? Can he run between the tackles? He's shown a propensity to be able to do both.
Sophomore from Rockdale, Texas. Had a broken hand last year that really slowed him down. Finally healthy, and you can see the big play type of guy he is. Lachlan another chance. Anthony Johnson comes from his cornerback spot to trip him up.
Yeah, he gets out on that outside zone and just runs out of space. He has his dad is D-line coach in the CFL for the Toronto Argonauts, right? So maybe he thought he had a little bit more space to get on that outside. You know, the CFL field is a lot bigger than the normal American football field.
3rd down and 4. This is the 9th play of the drive for Kansas. And Matt Campbell, showing off some elite speed of his own, runs down the field to call the timeout.
Desperately desired a timeout. He had to get it. How about those wheels, right?
former All-American lineman on the defensive end, the defensive side at Mount Union. All right, we have rain in Ames. You can see it coming down. Already in 28-0 lead for Iowa State. And now Kansas with a 3rd down and 4, needing a score, having to deal with some weather. They've already converted 2 third downs on this drive.
Yeah, but when you get rain, ball security has to be at a premium, and Kansas has already struggled a bit with that early in the game before the rain.
They fake it to Neal. Bean running out of time. Oh my goodness. Intercepted in the end zone. Easy pick, Kimani King. I don't think that Bean had any clue that King was there. Throw it right in his gut. Missed opportunity for Kansas. We'll break it down when we come back to Ames. It's a 28-0 lead for the home team. 28-0 lead for Iowa State, and right in the middle, that scrum right there, getting a whole bunch of attaboys. Kimani King, his first interception in his college career.
Absolutely, and he's gonna tell guys to stop calling me Kimani King, call me Clubber King, because he's a junior and he finally got his first interception with a club on his hand. He goes, he's covering, he falls off, makes the pick. Man, he might want to keep it. You know, guys are superstitious sometimes. I'm gonna keep the club because that's when I got my interception.
Brees Hall, they fake it to him. Purdy, open man, finds his tight end. Charlie Kohler, 2nd reception for the senior All-American.
It's a simple sail concept to the bottom of the screen, and you get Kohler, who trots his way on out there on a banana-shaped route, and Brock Purdy has all day to throw the ball. Kansas has to find a way to manufacture some pressure. Is it going to come from Rich Miller? Who is it going to come from where they can put pressure on Purdy?
Brees Hall trying to get his, and a great stop in the open field. Jacoby Bryant came up from his corner spot and tackled one of the most elusive men in the Big 12.
Yeah, he absolutely shot his shot, right? Shooters shoot, right? And he just dove right at the legs of Brees Hall, and Brees Hall trying to think, oh, wow, that was dangerous. You know, when you're in the air and your legs are running and moving, and then you come down all awkwardly.
2nd and 11 from the Iowa State 42.
5:50 remaining in our first half. It's been all Iowa State. 4 touchdown passes for Brock Purdy, all of them in the first quarter. They feature Hall again. Slow through the hole. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Pickup of 4 for Brees Hall.
He's got really good patience, right? He goes, he presses the hole. We talked about it in the open. He presses the hole to find which way he needs to go. Does a good job there of getting when he can. Set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door of 3,000 career yards.
Yeah.
Came into this game with 2,897 rushing yards. Grade A beef. Jyrell Brock replaces Hall.
Singled up at the bottom.
Looking that way. And it is caught. Devin Gardner, you're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they're motion guys just to see what they're going to get in coverage. They see they're going to have man-to-man, and they like getting the ball to Hutchinson like they did earlier in the game. And it's that same route, right? Attack the leverage of the defender, get outside, and he makes a combat catch right there. Nice throw by Purdy. Very good job to move the chains and get back on schedule of what you want to do, which is run the ball with Brock now.
You called that a combat catch?
Combat catch, right? With attacking defenders, right? Against your body, make the catch in combat mode.
Love it. Play action. Pass is caught. Tariq Milton. First catch of the day for Milton.
Another combat catch where you have defenders draped all over you. You're going to get a play action. Those safeties come out of the middle of the field. It's just going to be a skinny post on time. And he's going to put it right on his belly button. Makes a play. And the defenders can't believe it. I mean, I covered it. It's about as good as I can cover it. It's like, how did you catch that? Well, 39 starts. You got a ball placement has been perfect and exceptional for Purdy today.
Purdy's now 9 for 10 passing.
One incompletion, he threw it away, so that was a good play.
Purdy breaks a tackle. Oh, look at Purdy go. Inside the 10, down to the 9. Malcolm Lee fell on him. But Brock Purdy can do everything here tonight.
I mean, I'm going to be as unoriginal as I possibly can. That is a Purdy play by Purdy. He gets up in the pocket. He reverses field. He's finding the way. You got his guys. I mean, Kansas finds a way to cover everyone, and then you have Purdy making a play like this, looking like Lamar Jackson, just a tad less speed.
You got to squint for that.
Those are the type of plays you see from Lamar Jackson and all those talented running around quarterbacks in the NFL.
All right, Breece Hall doesn't have a touchdown so far in the ball game. Breece Hall now has a touchdown in the ball game. 17th straight game that Breece Hall has rushed for a touchdown.
Nothing fancy, just off the left side with lead blockers coming around. He doesn't even have to, he's usually patient and finds the cutback lanes. There's no cutback, right? He just darts right through the middle of the line and gets to the end zone.
Historic career for the junior from Wichita, Kansas. Made the decision to go to Ames, Iowa, and what an absolute brilliant idea that was. One of the all-time greats in the history of that program.
At the next level, they're thinking, great decision maker. Great decision maker. He chose to go to Iowa State rather than Kansas.
3:01 remaining in our first half. Breece Hall and Iowa State putting it on Kansas. Well, Breece Hall making a point here in the first half to get his. After all the touchdown passes by Brock Purdy, the all-time leading scorer with Iowa State coming back with a touchdown. 37th career touchdown, most in the history of Iowa State. Previous record holder, Troy Davis. Heisman finalist back in the 90s. They both wore number 28. Can't figure that out. How is that number not retired?
I mean, at some point it might be now, huh?
All right, Breece Hall, this is your life. We have an offsides consecutive games with a touchdown for Virginia Tech back in the day.
Most familiar on that list, you saw Derrick Henry, the monster, Tennessee Titans.
For those of the discerning eye, that was Nathan Shieldhouse. I think you may have played against him. Old
Nathan
quarterback at Illinois, now on the coaching staff at Iowa State.
Nathan Shieldhouse, that's a name that rings some bells for me, around the Big Ten.
Yeah, you got to look closely. I'll point it out for you. Gain of 2 for Devin Neal. Orion Vance, senior from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, looking the part of a middle linebacker. 6'2", 255, full of fire and brimstone. 2.5 remaining in our first half. Jason Bean fakes the handoff to Lachlan. Little bit too high, looking for Stephen McBride. Well, Kansas, they've been their own worst enemy. In the first half, they've lost a fumble. They've thrown an interception. They've turned it over on downs, and they had a field goal attempt blocked. So as well as Iowa State is playing, Kansas is helping them out.
Third down.
Bryce Cabledew, tackle from New Mexico, was down the field illegally, but that's declined. The pass is incomplete. It's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, on that play, it was a clear play action. Sometimes you get some of that when you get in the RPOs, but that was a clear play action. That's on him being downfield. Knows he has to stay by the line of scrimmage and give the quarterback a chance to make a throw.
RPO, run pass option.
Yeah.
Did I pass the quiz?
Oh, yeah, without question. You know it all.
3rd down and 8. And a handoff on 3rd and 8. Hard to surprise that Iowa State defense. Gain of 5 by Lachlan, Isheem Young, and others combined for the tackle.
You see this somewhat on a 3rd and long to set up a go for it situation, or you see it when you have 2 high safeties, right? Because you have those safeties out of the box, and it's conducive to success to run the ball because you have the numbers. That is not one of those situations because you can see they're jogging off the field, one. And two, that's a cover 4 defense with the safeties bearing down to stop the run. Give Bean a chance to throw the ball down the field, or you do not have a chance of coming back in this game.
And while we have a timeout, it's taken by Iowa State. Let's check in with Mike Hill for a preview of what's coming up in the half. Mike Hill, stronger than 10 rows of onions. Big fan. He does work.
10 rows of onions. I mean, they'll make you cry.
Oh, yeah. All right, 4th down and 4. Iowa State getting greedy. They just called the timeout. They want 2 minutes remaining when they get the ball back. And they're going to have decent starting field position. And 2:02 remaining in our first half.
All those young men got a chance at the next level, so that bodes well for the hopes and dreams of Brock Purdy, who Coach Matt Campbell said he is an even more special human being, and love what he's been able to do since his freshman year, helping to develop this program.
Whistles a pass out in space. It is caught by Hutchinson, who goes out of bounds. Iowa State, they have 1 timeout to work with, but just oodles and oodles of time. 1:55 remaining before half. That's a gain of 14 yards. Purdy to Hutchinson. For those of you wondering about Seneca Wallace, where's Seneca Wallace? How come he wasn't on that list? He only played 2 years at Iowa State. Didn't have enough chance to get the passing yards. But he was a great quarterback. Hall. Tackled right at midfield.
Top of your screen, you're going to get a post out. Boom, boom, and out. Very nice job of that previous play. That's a beautiful route. You see that post out at the next level so much.
Purdy. Complete to Hall out of the backfield. And it's going to be a pickup of 8. And did they get the line to gain? Yep, they did. It's a first down for Iowa State.
And people at home think, well, you're up 35. Why are you doing it? Well, this is an opportunity to work on your 2-minute offense, work on the different things. Coach Matt Campbell said, we're not there yet. Right? We're not where we want to be, and we need to continue to improve as the season goes on, so at the end, we can be exactly where we want to be.
Kansas held their first time out of the half. 30 seconds in length.
So a quick timeout called by Iowa. He is 13-2 as the quarterback for Iowa State in the month of October.
All he do is win, 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 no matter what. And the no matter what are those 2 losses.
Both against Oklahoma State.
Yeah. If you remove Oklahoma State from existence, you got
never lost in October, yeah.
Lost in October.
Another open pitching catch, Xavier Hutchinson. He's had a nice first half, and Purdy continues to throw an accurate ball. Just 1 incompletion here in the first 29 minutes.
Kansas tries to put pressure on them, but they bring it from the safety depth. You're not going to get to them. You have to bring pressure and find a way to manufacture a way to heat Brock Purdy up.
Final minute of our first half, and a little bit too long. Looking for Sean Shaw, that big 6'6" target. Second incompletion for Purdy.
They try to heat him up there and use a game, right? Try to confuse the offensive line. They do a great job of picking it up.
That's actually the first incompletion on a pass that Purdy actually attempted to complete.
Yes.
His other incompletion, he just threw it out of bounds.
You have to know. To this point, he's been perfect because he threw that ball out of bounds because everyone was covered. So I love that decision. That's the first throw that he's missed on the day.
Hall in the backfield next to Purdy. 4-man rush. Hutchinson. That'll bring up 3rd down. And the clock stops. 43 ticks remaining in our second quarter. Gain of just 3. Jason Gilliam credited with the tackle, pushing Hutchinson out of bounds. Remember this first half, Kansas having to play without one of their defensive leaders, Kenny Logan.
They've had a lot of success with the sail route on out routes from that inside receiver.
Over the middle, caught. It's the tight end Kohler. It's another first down for Iowa State. 16 more yards for Kohler.
You gotta hurry up and maybe clock it here.
And is this going to be a timeout again called by Kansas? It is.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, right? You stop the clock. They're going to spike the ball. You stop the clock and let them keep a timeout and keep a down. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's a nice route by Kohler, getting vertical and running a dig route, a basic in route across the field, lean and break across. That's some nice piece of route running. Keep the leverage, right? A lot of wide receivers and tight ends, they let the defender push them into their route, and they end up leaking into the route and allowing the defender to come underneath. He does a great job of staying strong, leaning on the defender, and then breaking across.
You played at Michigan. Michigan's had some nice tight ends over the years.
Yeah, Jake Butt.
They always say
one of the longest necks I've ever seen. His neck was long.
They always say the tight ends are a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah. Jake Butt, Mackey Award winner, University of Michigan.
Named for John Mackey, the former great Syracuse Orange. All right, 8th play of the drive. Already a 35-0 lead for Iowa State. A couple of tight ends in motion. That is Chase Allen and Jared Russ. They put Kohler, the third tight end, in motion. 3 tight ends right side. And they throw to a tight end. It's too high, looking for Kohler.
He had them. They had what they wanted. Heavy run formation, 3 tight ends, sneak Kohler right through the middle. Brock Purdy wants to drop this ball up and over into Kohler's hands. He fakes the block. Just missed him, right? Give him a chance. That's a big guy, and he knows it. He wants it back. He wants it back. Give him another shot. Can't believe he missed that
for Purdy. He's 14 for 17.
He can't believe he missed that one. It was a gift. Well-designed play by Coach Matt Campbell and his staff.
Purdy, the dump down. This is Shaw. He is tackled.
I go timeout here.
Nate Betts with the tackle. And you're right, Iowa State does call that timeout. That's the final timeout for Iowa State. Now we've made it to October, and both these two schools, Kansas and Iowa State, their lone conference game was against Baylor. They both lost against the Baylor Bears. Iowa State just last week, and Kansas lost against Baylor back in Lawrence September 18th. All right, 3rd down and goal. Remember, this is almost a bonus play, because Iowa State was thinking about clocking the ball when they first had that first down, but they didn't even get a chance to clock it because Kansas called a timeout. So this is really kind of a bonus play that they have to run.
And, you know, there are forces at work in football. When you do things like the way Kansas did, you usually have something bad happen, and it's probably going to be a touchdown here from Iowa State.
Iowa State doesn't have a timeout. This would probably be a pass to the end zone, you'd imagine. Purdy lost it. He lost the ball, but one of his linemen jumps on top of it. They don't have a timeout.
They have 2 plays going. You can't clock it
either.
It's 4th down. They're going to try to run on the field goal. I had this scenario 2013 Northern Michigan. Can they get it off?
And they do. Oh, that's impressive.
Very good.
That was impressive.
Very good.
Connor Asali makes it from 26 yards. Now, the kick wasn't hard, but getting everyone set up, that was the hard part, and that was impressive.
Nice. You go and you practice this in practice, and the cast of characters doing exactly what they need to do to make their head coach happy.
There you see your first half stats. Not as dominated as much as you'd think by Iowa State. They clearly dominated the scoreboard, but statistically, the numbers are very impressive. But they're not lapping the field against Kansas. Kansas did do some good things. They just shot themselves in the foot with a couple of costly turnovers, and of course the blocked field goal was an issue as well.
But when you look at that, you have to remember a lot of those short fields, right? Short fields that Iowa State had aided them in not having so many yards of what you would expect on a 38-0 route in the first half.
Well, an abundance of riches. Iowa State with the lead. They're going to start with the ball here in our third quarter. Let's take a look at the offensive leaders. For the men from Iowa State, Brock Purdy close to perfect in his first half. He threw 4 touchdown passes in the first quarter alone. Brees Hall, another touchdown. That's now 17 straight games with a rushing touchdown for him. And the X-Man, Xavier Hutchinson, with a nice start to his day.
Yeah, the X-Man has been the X-factor on the receiving end of those Brock Purdy passes.
Iowa State 7 drives in the first half, 5 touchdowns, 1 field goal.
Early in this game, you thought we were going to have to start calling Brock Purdy Brock Perfect because he wouldn't miss.
Programming note for you. Good news for Kansas. Kenny Logan, their safety, leading tackler a season ago. He is on the field right now. Remember, he didn't play in the first half. He wasn't allowed to because of a targeting call in the second half of last week's game against Duke. So welcome back, Kenny Logan.
Yeah, and during the week, he vowed to never let it happen again. Never get his team in a situation where you're getting the ball thrown over their head because they're missing their safety and one of their best players on defense.
And Logan had a real good ball game against Iowa State a year ago. Picked off a pass and returned a touchdown, 100 yards for a touchdown. 9-yard gain. It's now 2nd and 1. Brees Hall skips forward for the first down. 3 more yards for Brees Hall. And a flag is down on the field.
Sean Foster.
Holding. Offense number 75, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Sean Foster, Chicago kid, called for that infraction.
Yeah, gets beat across his face, and then he sees the defensive end running to his guy, and he just kind of grabs his arm and tries to pull him back. Bad footwork. You can see the wrong arm by the defender, and he's like, oh, I can't let you run and hit my All-American running back. Right there.
It's Kyron Johnson who was the man held. Johnson being disruptive. 2nd down and 11. And right through the fingers of Hall. So it goes an incompletion on the record of Brock Purdy.
Usually a very reliable receiver out of the backfield. People at home, what happened there? How did he drop that? Well, remember, it rained quite a bit in the first half, and the grass is a little wet, right? Coming from the ground to the quarterback's hand, I'm pretty sure the ball can be a bit slick, and it slips right out of the hands. Those sticky gloves are great when it's not raining, but they get really slippery when you get water on them. Absolutely. Those gloves are not made for rain. You got to get those leather, like the baseball gloves, and those are much better in the rain.
3rd down and 11. Purdy is not going to get the first down. So a real good job by Kansas to limit Iowa State here to begin our second half.
Entire Kansas secondary stuck to their receivers like glue, and it started with Logan. The insertion of him into this game maybe can make a difference and give Kansas the chance on defense, because before that, you could see Iowa State receivers running wide open right through the middle of the defense. Now they have it under control, at least in that first drive, and that's the way you want to start a second half.
And the punt goes out of bounds, and it's Kansas ball. Now, welcome back, Kenny Logan. The senior safety was missed, but he's back in the mix now. Well, the defense for Kansas gets it right back for the Kansas offense. Jason Bean trying to build off these first half numbers.
He's been doing well when he gets on the move. Let's see if they don't start it right here with him on the move.
And the ball is bobbled, but that creates space actually for Trevor Wilson. Looked like the bobble kind of threw the defenders off.
We talked about it earlier in the game, right? It happened on a snap that was bobble. They get a big run out of it. When the defender sees a bobble, right, he sees blood in the water and he wants to attack and get the ball. Then the ball disappears and then the runner just skates right past it and actually sets up a block. That's a good start. Good start. An easy completion for your quarterback to start the half.
Gain of 10 yards. So it's first down and 10 once again for Bean and the Jayhawks. Designed rollout. Complete. Lassiter. That's the third catch for Kwame Lassiter. 3 catches, 25 yards for the senior.
Yeah, they are getting him on the move.
Bean, first year at the program. Got the starting job over last year's starter, Jalen Daniels. Daniels still with the program.
A big part of why he won that job is because of his legs. The addition of his legs. He's a pretty good passer, but his legs make things very difficult for defenses. Got to protect the ball, though, right? Got to protect the ball moving forward.
Yeah, Bean fumbled on a run outside the pocket in the first quarter, and he also threw a second quarter interception into the end zone. That was the deepest penetration for Lance Leibold's team. First down and 10. Bean, tons of time. I'll tell you, he's got a nice arm. Pass is complete to Luke Grimm.
When he's given time to read the defense, which Iowa State has given him when he's dropped back pass, he's found his target and been accurate and strong with his throws. That's a nice throw. The receiver has to slow down just a tad, but that's a nice throw moving forward when you haven't seen a bunch of throws go your way.
22 yards. Pitch and catch. Bean to Grimm.
It's like all or nothing, huh? You either get 22 yards or you don't get anything.
Torrey Lachlan into the game in the backfield with Bean. Now the tight end Mason Fairchild. Give is to Lachlan. Smashes down to the 20. Mike Rose, senior linebacker, 43rd straight start. Rose gets that tackle. 6'4", 250 pounds, long arms, and he can run.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a find for Matt Campbell's program to get a guy like Rose to commit, be an early starter, and be consistently healthy for 4 years, and to be part of a lot of winning teams. Devin Neal, close to the first down marker, but shy. It'll bring up third down. Isaiah Lee on the tackle.
Cyclone fans, get loud. It's 3rd and 1 from the 14.
Well, Iowa State, really good defense, but in the second half, a historically great defense. They've allowed 1 offensive touchdown in the last 9 games in the second half of games. 1 touchdown in 9 games in second halves. Good job of plowing forward. That's a Neal first down.
Kansas is trying to change that and add 2 to that record because they're moving the ball the best they've moved it all day.
Is it adjustments at the half by the defensive coordinator, John Haycock? Is it strength and conditioning, being fresher than the offense in the second half? How do you possibly explain a stat like that?
I think it's some adjustments, and I think their quarterback's playing a little better. Right? Get him some easy throws. He started off with some easy throws, gave him some time in the pocket, and now he's moving down, but it gets tight down here.
Bean, flushed down. Second down and 10.
Improvement. Earlier, first half, you saw that exact scenario where he's rolling right. He wants to make a play so bad, which you love, right? You love you want a competitor, but know when the play is done, know when the other team is beating you and go to the next down. That time, throws it away rather than throwing an interception as he did in the first quarter.
9th play of the drive. Jayhawks have already picked up 4 first downs. First time they've touched it here in the third quarter. Lachlan. He's got a chance. Lachlan, did he? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Kansas. It took a while, but a touchdown to begin our third quarter for the Jayhawks.
Lachlan is locked in. He gets the ball and gets vertical, and it's all downhill from here. Sticks his foot in the ground and dives for the goal line. And that's very clearly a touchdown. They may review it, but they don't need to. Very good job. 2 touchdowns, 2 different ways a week ago. Comes into this second half and becomes one of 2 teams in the last 9 games to score a touchdown in the second half versus this daunted Iowa State defense.
Extra point is good. A 9-play, 68-yard drive, and that'll put a smile on the face of Lance Leipold. Good work, Kansas. Something to smile about for the Kansas Jayhawks and their fan. Torrey Lachlan capping off a 9-play, 66-yard drive. They begin the third quarter with a touchdown. So ever since Kenny Logan's been in the game, it's a 7-0 lead for Kansas over Iowa State.
Yeah, change of morale. You get a little. You feel like, hey, we might have a chance now because we have our defensive leader and possibly our best defensive player back in the game.
All right, Iowa State, their second possession here in our second half. And the kick is returnable. And it's same thing as a touchback. Ball to be spotted at the 25-yard, and obviously inherited a program that was not on an uptick.
Yeah, turmoil, right? Just a bit of turmoil, you know, just hadn't been very successful, but he's done what he can, and his team is playing inspired here in the second half, at least to start.
I think if you're a Kansas fan, you got to really like the resume.
Yeah, without question.
This
You
is a
didn't
guy,
get the team a bunch.
He's not a silver spooner.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't come from some program and just kind of fall into a coordinating job and then become the head coach. He earned it, you know.
He worked.
He worked a ton at the Division III level. He went to a Mid-American Conference program that was not a blue blood. You know, we're talking Buffalo.
They are blue, but not a blue bud.
There you go. So this guy's got a chance. He knows how to build programs. He knows how to win games. And I'm excited for an opportunity to watch this guy in the years to come.
I mean,
why not?
Similar to across the way. Coach Matt Campbell, same type of resume, same type of upbringing, if you will. And look what he's doing with Breece Hall up the sideline.
Breece Hall is finally brought down, but a huge gain. That's going to take him over 100 yards in the ball game.
We've seen all day that Kansas had these soft edges, and it allows for you to hook defenders and get on the outside, and that's what Hall does. He gets the ball, gets vertical, linebackers get sucked inside, and he gets on the outside like a 200-meter dash, and you don't want to give that much space, and for Breece Hall to be touched only 30 yards down the field is not what you want if you're Kansas' defense.
He didn't break the tackle.
Didn't.
He got 41 yards before he was touched and knocked down.
Which we know he's really good at. He's really good at make him break those tackles. Don't just let him run free. 8.5. 8.5 per carry. Very nice day by the consensus All-American a year ago.
Tyrell Brock replaces Hall in the backfield. Play action. Purdy. Tons of time. Caught. Tight end Charlie Kohler. When all else fails, throw it to the 6'6", 260-pound tight end.
This young man can run. He comes from the other side of the field. Here he is right there. And he's going to get in the vision of his quarterback and then race back to the ball. Cuts off the defense. All the attention to detail. The attention to detail is impeccable. Very good job by Kohler helping his quarterback out, right? He's going. You don't want to just keep leaking away. Attack the ball. He attacks the ball, cuts off the defender, and that's a big play and has him in prime position to get in the end zone yet again.
20-yard play. Delayed handoff, Breece Hall. Man. Some hitting going on. Caleb Sampson, the tackle. Gain of 2. A couple of Talebs right in the middle of the line for Kansas. You got Caleb Sampson and you got Caleb Taylor. One's heading out, the other one's just coming in. Sampson's a senior, Taylor's a freshman. So if they play their card right, they could have a 7-year window of Caleb's running the defensive tackle spot at Kansas.
You wonder why is Ohio State being able to run the ball so well. Caleb Taylor, 6'2", 257 pounds, right? Not a big guy. That's a linebacker.
Brees Hall. Oh, he smelled the goal line only to be knocked back by Gavin Potter. Gavin Potter saved a touchdown.
Look who's in there.
Kenny Logan.
Kenny Logan. Right in there to stop that from being a touchdown. Gets close. Inches to go. But you got to love the fight, right? The fight in Kansas to continue to attack the ball carrier down 38-7.
Third down. Brees Hall already has a touchdown. Fullback in front of him, Jared Russ. Purdy just throws it away. So a small victory for Kansas right now as they hold Iowa State. It's fourth down, and well, the Iowa State offense is going to stay on the field.
Eric, that was a little spider 2-dash Y banana.
Yes, it was.
Spider 2-dash Y banana, fake power pass, and Kansas did a good job of doing what they need to do to make sure that those guys don't run open. Usually it works when you have a runner like Brees Hall. Great job by Kansas forcing this fourth down conversion.
Iowa State leading by 31, and they're going to go for it on fourth down and goal. Hall, touchdown. Second of the ball game. Eighth rushing touchdown of the season for the junior Brees Hall.
I mean, and it's right up the middle. Look here, 250 pounds. There's no way. There's no way you're going to stop this big center, Colin Newell, or even their backup, Joey Ramos, from getting you into the end zone. The goal of an offensive line is to recreate the line of scrimmage, and they do a good job there, and they've been doing it all day because that young freshman Caleb Taylor is a little light in the pants.
Connor Asali gets the extra point. And, well, the good vibes continue for Brees Hall. He's been doing it for 3 years. No one's done it better in Ames.
Giving all of his linemen love, right? Knows the camera's following them. Gonna make sure their names are on screen because they're doing their jobs, but I'll give them some love. John Foster, Trevor Downing, Colin Newell, Daryl Simmons, and Derek Schreiger doing a great job clearing the way for Brees Hall. Bucks, and you know Russell Wilson is always good for a special play or 4 or 5 in a game.
Kansas, last time they had the football, scored a touchdown. Man who scored the touchdown, Torrey Laughlin, tackled after a gain of 3. It was Miles Purchase making that tackle along with Gary Vaughn. Miles Purchase is considered to be a third-team quarterback. So clearly, there he is. Clearly, Iowa State is going deep onto their bench here in this third quarter, allowing guys to play with a lead of 45-7.
And he did a good job of trying to earn more playing time because he set the edge. You don't see too many cornerbacks setting the edge, and he does that and allows his linebackers to flow and make that play.
Bean, he's got those magic feet. Just ran out of time. Kimani King, an interception back in that first half, pushes him out of bounds.
See the Cyclone defense back. All eyes on the quarterback as they cannot allow him to break this game with his legs, which he's shown he's capable of doing.
See that wrap on the left arm of Kimani King?
Clubber.
Okay, there you go.
Clubber King.
Didn't keep him from making an interception in the first half.
Or a tackle.
Third down and 4. Bean, incomplete, looking for Arnold. So after scoring a touchdown, first drive here in the third quarter, Kansas doesn't go very far this time around. They're forced to punt the football. Cameron Shook. I apologize. That's Reese Vernon coming on to punt the football away. Wow, here come the Cyclones. Wow, they wanted the block. Returnable. Out to the 42-yard lines on that return is Jalen Null. So Iowa State, they actually went for the block. Up big, going for a block punt. I love it. Why not? Welcome back, everyone. Brock Purdy, his night may be done. Not sure, but if it is, well, what a night it was. Only 5 incompletions, 4 touchdown passes, all in the first quarter. And he goes over the 10,000 career passing yard mark. Wow, what a day. New quarterback, Hunter Deckers. He is a redshirt freshman from Hawarden, Iowa. That is the western part of the state, Sioux City area. This is a kid with a lot of ballyhoo as a high school player. Massive numbers as a high school quarterback.
He's a big fella.
Well, the first thing he does, hand it off to Eli Sanders. First carry for Sanders, freshman runner from Oceanside, California.
When we talked to Coach Campbell about Deckers, he talked about his ability to be ready. He thinks that he will be ready when his opportunity comes. He's just caught in a situation where probably the greatest quarterback to ever play at Iowa State is in front of him right now, but he likes his future moving forward.
He's a lefty, folks. So that ball's going to come out of a different arm than we're used to.
Yeah, it's going to spin the opposite way when you're a catcher as well.
There's that lefty toss, and it's incomplete.
I'm telling you,
is
it
that a
spins
thing?
the opposite way.
Is that a real
Absolutely.
thing?
I've caught the ball as a receiver from a right-handed quarterback, left-handed quarterback. It spins the opposite way, and it's such a small detail. When you're trying to find the point of the ball, and you usually see it coming out of a right-hander's hand, it's a little different. Throw is a good throw, but he just drops it.
Kind of like the way the faucet twins the wrong way when you're in Australia.
Oh yeah, or the toilet when you flush it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I was trying to clean it up a little bit, partner. I said the faucet.
Hey, the toilets are clean there, I'm sure.
New center in the game as well. Johnny Ramos is snapping the ball to Deckers. Hard running, Jairell Brock. What is it like? Obviously, you were a stud of all studs when you played at Michigan. But what's it like when you come in and get an opportunity to be the quarterback and you have such a big lead?
Oh, man, it's an audition. It's a chance for you to show, because they're going to continue to recruit, right? They're not going to stop recruiting with you like, oh, we like you so much that we're not going to recruit another quarterback. Not only are you fighting for reps and opportunities to prove yourself in that year, but you're fighting for the future. These are my live game reps that I get to show, hey, I could be the future quarterback of this program when Brock Purdy leaves, or Denard Robinson, in my case.
Shoelace.
The man. Silver football winner.
Design quarterback run.
Looking like Shoelace.
Who knew? Hunter Deckers. How do you do?
I think we spoke it into existence. We say Shoelace. He takes it the distance. Hunter Deckers. Coach Campbell said he'd be ready, and that big fellow was rumbling and bubbling. Didn't even have to break a tackle. Straight to the end zone.
41 yards for Hunter Deckers.
Brock Purdy loves it. Uh-oh, there was a mistake on the play. I love Coach Campbell, right? Coaching. Okay, it's a touchdown, but that's not what I want from you. I want you to make the correct decision, but I'm sure he's happy with that touchdown run.
Andrew Mevis, the extra point.
Come in and get you a touchdown. I don't see why not. Follows his lead blockers. I don't know if Coach Campbell was talking about a mistake there. That looks pretty good to me. A design pull for the quarterback with lead blockers coming around, and he hightails it on the way to the end zone. I love it. I love to see a young guy coming in and getting an opportunity and making the most of it. And obviously, Purdy loves the way he's doing it as well. Still coaching. Look at Coach Campbell. Still I love him. When we talked in the meeting with him, I mean, I was enamored with his ability to be in the moment. He talked about his responsibility. He said, I take responsibility. Is it scheme or is it who's out there? And he said some of the stuff can be scheme, and he took a lot of that on his shoulders from last week's loss. And they've come in and looked like a totally different football team, at least in the first half. This looks like how they looked in the second half of that game last week. And they are loving it. The universal song for fun. The swag surf. Oh, it's nice. When you're up 52-7, I mean, there's going to be a lot of swag surfing on the sideline.
Now, Matt Campbell has just been Iowa State history to defeat every school in conference.
Yeah,
Is that hard to believe?
It didn't happen overnight. And similar to Coach Leipold, he is a worker, and he's worked his way to get to where he is. Started Division III, went to the MAC level, and is now doing at the Big 12 level, and he's still working, right? We talked to him. He is not where he wants to be. His team isn't where he wants them to be, and he has a lot further he thinks he can go.
And you look at the guy, too, and he's obviously in great shape, but most people probably wouldn't assume he was an All-American defensive end.
Right.
Defensive end with that body.
Well, that's always, you always get in shape. Those bigger guys get in shape. It's the quarterbacks like me that eat these snacks all the time, and they start, getting a little bigger. I'm trying to keep my weight down. But those big linemen, they always slim down, right?
I'm sure there's some people out there say, well, he played at Mount Union, Division III. No. He was a scholarship defensive end at Pitt to begin with.
Yeah.
He started playing well, as a player at Mount Union, he won 3 championships. As an assistant coach at his alma mater, that's where he got his start working in the coaching ranks, he won 2 national championships. So 5 times he's won the whole ball of wax at the Division III level. Pretty cool stuff.
Another nice throw. Jason Bean on time, out route to the top of your screen. What you're going to see from Kansas here is them trying to run their offense normally, because they're in a position where they just need to continue to get better. That's what their coach said. They want to continue to get better, and this is an opportunity for you to get better with 50 seconds left in the third and the whole entire quarter coming up. You want to try to run the offense as if you're not down by so much, and try to make sure you develop these players with these live game reps that are oh so precious.
Trying to get it to Neal out of the backfield.
A week ago, they had a pick-6 opportunity and a long run from Devin Neal, and at the end, you'll see that they just didn't finish those runs. You see, like, just step out of bounds and kind of concede, well, this is a big play and we'll leave it here. And I asked their coach about it. It's like, is it an effort? He's like, well, no, they just haven't been in those haven't had those opportunities and been in those situations. To remedy that, you need to get yourselves in those types of situations more often so that you'll know what to do and know how to respond when they arise.
Second down at 10. Neal is swarmed and brought down. Miles Purchase with that tackle along with Zach Peterson. No gain. It's 3rd down and 11. Let's see how much of a hurry Kansas is in. They still could get one more playoff here in this 3rd quarter if they so choose. Nope, that's going to do it for our 3rd quarter here in Ames, Iowa. It has been all Cyclones. Kansas making a mini run to begin our 3rd quarter, but then Hunter Deckers comes off the pine to electrify the crowd. 4 fingers in the air. 4th quarter when we return. Let's take a look at our team comparison, sponsored by Samsung Galaxy.
It's been a bit of a rout on the side of the Iowa State Cyclones. The motto of consistency and balance.
Beginning of our 4th quarter, it's a 3rd down and 11, and Bean throws it away.
That's not awful. That's not awful.
Even 3rd and 11?
That's not. Find a way to get better. Do you force that throw and turn it over, right? Because, like I said, erase the score. 52-7. This game's well out of hand. You're rolling around, you're scrambling. Don't force things. Punt it away and play defense. And that's what you want to do moving forward in future games.
Reese Vernon.
Ooh. Man, Iowa State's still coming after it.
Hey, look at Vernon. Look at that. They're going to spot it on the half-yard line. Somewhere Glenn Mason is smiling. The one-time Kansas head coach used to say that the most important position in Kansas when you're playing in the Big 8, Big 12 now, is punter. You need a good punter. And Reese Vernon, you can't get any better than this punt.
Yeah, he touches it at the half-yard line, but it carries into the end zone. I'm interested to see if they talk this through and what's ruling going to be. I mean,
but he touched it in the field of play.
Yeah.
It was Torrey Loughlin. All right, let's figure out exactly what constitutes downing the ball in college football. Dean Blandino, what do you have, my friend?
Yeah, so the key is it's the football. Does the ball break the plane? And the ball does get into the end zone, but if the kicking team possesses it in the field of play, it's dead as soon as they gain possession. This is close. That's what they ruled, that he had possession of it and then let it go. It doesn't look like he has it long enough to me, though.
Thank you, Dean. All right, so possession of the ball still in the field. That's what it was ruled, so good job by Torrey Loughlin. And
how about
starting field position for Iowa State?
How about 6'3", 235 on a quarterback sneak, gain of 6 yards?
Yeah. This guy is
he's a tank. He's
got a lot of things to smile about.
Yeah, he's almost the same size as their defensive lineman on Kansas. Caleb Taylor, 6'2", 257.
Hunter Deckers, second possession as the quarterback, replacing Brock Purdy. Brock to the edge. Jirel Brock finally tackled by Nate Betts. All right, Hunter Deckers, the quarterback right now for Iowa State, the most decorated high school quarterback in the history of the Hawkeye State. Told you he is from Haywarden, Iowa, over by Sioux City. The most passing yards in the history of the state, over 10,000. The most passing touchdowns, 126. And oh, by the way, he played basketball and football as well. And on the baseball field, he has a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from the left side.
21.3 points per game as a basketball player. I mean, if this is a guy right here.
Hold on. If he really does have a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, as 6'3", 240 pounds and left-handed, you know what? He could be a world beater as a football player, but I'm taking that baseball every single day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, but you got to go with your heart, right? I'm sure he probably loves football a lot more. I mean, he is a talented athlete. When you nail it down to those things you just talked about, and the 21 points per game on the courts as well. Wow.
Good count.
And we saw him run.
This is Deion Silas. And Silas finishes off a run. Oh, with a little bit of probably something extra. I don't think he got whistled for, but that was probably unnecessary. There's a flag. Now, you were just talking about the appropriate way to finish off a run.
Yeah.
Silas did that for a moment.
And then a little extra.
Until the forearm shiver.
Yeah, a little extra. Freshman been sitting there watching all day, and he's looking for his opportunity. Got it there. They didn't call a flag on him, though.
Offense, number 54, 10-yard penalty to the spot of the foul. Second down.
Got a tackle from the offensive lineman.
Ah, okay.
Getting his first action, Gerard Huford.
That's something for Matt Campbell's team to work on. They have 4 accepted penalties for 30 yards. Kansas, none.
Wow.
No accepted penalties.
Splitting hairs here, Eric. Trying to find a silver lining. The 4 penalties is not bad. You know, not bad. Wish you had 0, obviously.
Tariq Milton goes in motion. Second series for Deckers. This is Milton. Milton dropped one a moment ago from Deckers. This time hangs on and gets it out to the 35-yard line. Now, Iowa State, for some reason, Devin Gardner, October seems to be their month. Since 2017, Iowa State is 13-2 in the month of October. That's doing something. 13-2, 13 wins in 15 games.
Who's been their quarterback?
Brock Purdy.
The motto of consistency.
Well, they always say you want your teams to get better throughout the course of the year. Now, if you're getting, that record's even more impressive in November. but you're clearly in conference play in October when you're winning games. It's not like you're taking on teams out of conference that maybe are a lesser foe.
Yeah.
These are Big 12 opponents that, for the most part, the Cyclones have dominated.
Decker airmails that one over his receiver's head. It's still a little slick out there. The ball clearly slipped out of his hands. I mean, he's not just throwing balls over receivers' heads. It may be spinning the opposite way, but it's usually on target. He wishes he had that one back.
Cameron Shook comes on to punt it away. Clock is stopped. 12-11 remaining in our game. And a flag comes down. It's going to be penalty number 5 on Iowa State.
Number 15, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Now I've had a great time watching such great quarterback play from Brock Purdy. I'm sure, I work with a lot of young kids in Detroit and young quarterbacks staying up watching this game. Musa El Mubarak, a young 6-year-old quarterback wondering, how should I play the quarterback position? Brock Purdy put on a show today. It's really been fun to watch.
Lassiter has to go back to the 20-yard line to field this punt. Lassiter out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and a flag comes down. Well, if it stands, it's a 24-yard return by Lassiter.
During the return, holding return team number 88, 10-yard penalty for the flag. 1st down, Kansas. Timeout on the field.
First accepted penalty against Kansas. Back in a moment. They lead 52-7. And Kansas has gone to a new quarterback. Miles Kendrick is going to get some playing time. First thing he does is hand off to Amari Pesic-Hickson, who takes it off left guard.
Eric, do you dabble in wrestling, WWE?
I cannot tell a lie. I do not.
I love it, and I'm telling you, I'm challenging you. Go and see a WWE match. It's the most fun you'll ever have. You'll feel like a kid.
The most fun I'll ever have.
Oh, I may be reaching a bit, but it's extremely fun.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking about I had a ball watching these very exceptional athletes jump all over the place and do all these grades. I mean, they're entertainers. I don't know. It's amazing. It's outstanding.
All right. I'll give it a try on your recommendation, because you're my guy.
No, without question. I mean, I remember a lot of players I play with, and there's always that guy that just can't quite figure it out. He's a great athlete. He does everything. He runs fast. He's strong. He's strong in the weight room, but he can't play football for some reason. He just can't figure it out. Those guys go wrestle. And they are the greatest athletes, and there's no plays to remember. There's no coverages to read, right? And it's fun. It's a good time. People take your kids. I love it. I loved it. I can't wait to go back, honestly.
Miles Kendrick, who's got playing time in years past, was a starter at one point for the Kansas Jayhawks, finishing off his redshirt senior season. Kendrick has been around the block. He and Jalen Daniels were part of the quarterback rotation a year ago, and now spelling Jason Bean. How would you assess Jason Bean's performance tonight?
It's mediocre, right? We're not going to pretend like he played extremely well. 10 of 20, 50%, 120 yards and an interception. But it wasn't awful. This Cyclone defense is something to behold. They are talented, and they came in this game not happy. Very upset by the way they played in the first half a week ago. So I'm going to say he did well, not nearly well enough, but for what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build, he's a pretty good building block for what Kansas wants to do.
All right, Devin Gardner, another tough question for you. Clearly, everyone wants to still play. You're in college, playing college football because you love the game.
Yeah.
But are you surprised that Mike Rose, last year's Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, is still on the field making plays for Iowa State? It's the fourth quarter of the game. They're leading by 45. You only get college experience once, and why not?
Yeah.
But he's a valuable member of this team. Still on the field right now.
That's tough. I mean, I am very surprised.
Brock Purdy's out. Breece Hall is out.
Number 45, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, I am surprised that he's still in the game and still playing hard. Got grass all over the body, rain droplets in his eyes. 35 tackles for loss, second in school. I mean, this team as a whole has a lot of guys that are some of the best that the Cyclones have ever seen, and you have to give a lot of credit to Coach Campbell and the way he's recruited and been able to put these teams together and develop the players.
6 tackles tonight for Mike Rose. Yeah, I'd make the argument if you're a linebacker, you kind of like playing right now.
Yeah.
You're probably not overheating. You know, the temperature has dropped. You got the rain coming down. It's a unique field. You got mud all over yourself. You got grass.
So it makes for some great photographs, right? You're a linebacker, and you don't want to be sitting on the sideline getting all soggy. Why not? Why not stay out there and you see all these linebackers just getting wet and continuing to play? Jake Hummel, also a starter, still out there running around playing. But I think Coach Campbell wants reps. They need reps because, I mean, in his eyes, they sat out the first half of the game last week, so they need these reps to continue to improve and get better so they can improve upon those great records in the months later in the season.
Bo Freeler makes that tackle coming up from his safety spot. And truth be told, Kansas and Iowa State, they both have a bye next week. Iowa State's going to have 14 days time to get ready for Kansas State. Jayhawks, they're going to have 14 days to get ready for Texas Tech.
So that explains it.
If you get a little bit of nick or a bruise, you're going to have time to heal.
Yeah, quite some time. Like, so one thing, first half, everybody sat out, so that's one half down. And then this, you got a bye week coming up. Why not let these guys continue to get reps and play fast and play hard the way Coach Campbell wants them to? Oklahoma State continues to be impressive. West Virginia.
And if we took it one game more on that schedule, it's at Oklahoma this year for Iowa State. So have to travel to Norman.
Some of the best teams in the Big 12 coming up for Iowa State. That bye is going to be very important to get a lot of things done, a lot of things fixed. And it looks like they fixed a lot of it in today's game as well.
All right, we've got a timeout on the field. We'll be back with a final 7:35.
Allstate is proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good, and this season they're back for more.
Home, followed by Oklahoma State.
No walk in the park for them.
That last time out was because we had a man down for Kansas. It was Earl Bostic, the starting left tackle, who was being tended to. 4th down. Let's see what Kansas wants to do. 4th down and 8. Backup quarterback Miles Kendrick is in the game and still on the field.
4th and 11 for the 43.
Uh-oh, Mike Rose, did he get back in time? That wasn't Mike Rose, that was actually Craig McDonald coming in from the safety spot. He actually got back in time, and so Kansas calls the timeout. Well, we've got the timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:46 remaining in Ames.
Especially the Kentucky, right? Because Kentucky, not too long ago, was in the same type of Kansas type position as far as performance, especially in the SEC, almost like the doorstep, the stepping stool of the SEC, and they go in and beat a power in Florida.
On 4th down and 11, McBride actually had a step, but Kendrick can't hit him.
A. McNamara came in with a lot of questions to be answered, and they mixed in the young guy, J.J. McCarthy, a bit as well. That Michigan offense and defense is playing the best in the country, I would say.
Oh, my. Come on.
Hey, that's it. I said it.
Holy Brady Hope. What did you just say?
I said it.
Oh, my goodness.
I said it, and I'm sticking to it until I'm proven wrong.
All right.
By the way, how'd Syracuse do today?
Oh.
Did they get a win?
St. Lawrence University. And I don't know how the Saints did today, but I'm sure they put up a fight. The ball actually did come out, but it still stays with Iowa State. The ball was fumbled out of bounds. Hunter Deckers remains in the game as the quarterback. Eli Sanders behind him. They fake to Sanders. The lefty. I like this kid.
Yeah.
Pretty nice play. Complete to Easton Dean. That is the first catch of the year for the tight end Easton Dean from Oswego, Kansas. That's a couple of Kansans who are doing work against the Jayhawks tonight. Kind of a kick in the pants if you're a Jayhawk fan. Best of the best for Iowa State. Brees Hall. He's from Wichita, Kansas. The one that got away. 5.5 left.
I like the control that Hunter Deckers is showing, even in this blowout. This is his audition, like we talked about earlier. And he's in complete control, doing what's asked of him, making accurate throws, even though it's spinning the opposite way and he's had a couple drops. He's doing what he's asked to do, and that's what they expected from him. They trust him. They feel if anything were to happen to their starter where he can't perform, they trust that Hunter Deckers can be the guy to help them continue on their path to what they want.
It's a big deal. You know, we talk about Matt Campbell winning with the talent that he has. But when you win a recruiting war with a guy who's considered to be the best prospect of any high school quarterback in Iowa history, when you beat out Iowa, when you beat out everyone else in the Midwest, this guy's a national recruit.
Yeah.
When you beat everyone out and you say, you know what, he's going to come and play at our school, at Iowa State, that means your program is no longer at this level. It has now moved up a different level.
Yeah, and for those who can't see Eric Collins, if one hand was even and then he raised one up, and that's exactly right. Your level, the level of your program continues to elevate if you continue to win recruiting wars like that. And, you know, they look forward to winning more, right? You know, they got Brees Hall, who was the best running back in Kansas, and he's turned out to be a talented runner for them and one of the best in their history.
Now we've gone under the 4-minute mark. This is the 101st meeting between Kansas and Iowa State. And Iowa State, this is going to be the 7th consecutive win. But they still have not evened up the all-time record. Kansas is the first to 50 wins. They lead the all-time series history 50-44, will be 45 now, with 6 ties. Let's see if Deckers takes a shot. Nope, conservative play call, but it's going to be a productive output. Deion Silas, a touchdown. 16-yard scamper for the freshman Deion Silas.
He's running like he's been waiting for this opportunity all year to get the ball. To this point in the season, only 5 carries, 32 yards. But he gets that ball, gets a nice little jump cut, and gets around the edge. Still, to this point in the game, I talked about earlier, Kansas's contained players are not doing a very good job. Their edges are very soft, and we've seen not only Silas, but Brees Hall be able to get on the edge and make plays outside. That's something in the bye week Kansas is going to have to take a look at. Learn to keep contained and not allow plays to get on the outside.
Now Connor Sally is going to have that right leg in the ice tub. Been using it a lot. That's now 8 extra points. Yeah, nice night in Ames, Iowa. 60,446 shoehorned into Jack Trice Stadium. They've enjoyed it since the jump. It is a massive lead, 59-7 for the locals against Kansas. Another touchdown, most recently scored by Deion Silas. And it looks like Iowa State has bounced back from stubbing their toe a week ago in Waco against the Bears. Now the Big 12.
It'll make the conference strong.
Now the Big 12 is also, you know, a nice basketball conference too, and I kind of like that basketball-wise. Houston Cougars, good basketball program as of late.
They can hoop.
Yeah, the one confusing thing now that I think about it, you got the BYU Cougars and the Houston Cougars. Yeah, maybe
The blue Cougars and the red Cougars.
Okay, that's easy now.
Got by James Gray.
All right, final 250. Kansas trying to find some positives on their way back to Lawrence. They're going to fall to 0-2 in Big 12 play and 1-4 overall. The only win so far this year for Kansas was against South Dakota.
You know, Eric, I once called a state championship high school football game where both teams were named the Panthers.
Oh, goodness.
And I said in the open, I can guarantee you one thing.
Panthers are going to win.
There's going to be the Panthers will win today. So, you know, whoever calls that BYU Cougars versus Houston Cougars game, feel free. Feel free to use that.
That's your pearl.
Yep.
Ended it up. All right.
Oh, yeah. The rain slowed down a bit. At least it looks like it.
Final 2 minutes. Miles Kendrick coming in. Couple of possessions ago for Jason Bean. In case you're wondering about the nights had by Breece Hall and Brock Purdy, both of them were very good. Brock Purdy's going to finish with 248 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Breece Hall went over the 3,000-yard mark in his career. He finishes with 123 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. He has extended his streak of consecutive games with a rushing touchdown to 17 games.
10,000-yard passer, 3,000-yard rusher. Quite a combo.
All right. Amari Pesic-Hickson hurdles a man and then is tackled to bring up 3rd down. Chris Peterson.
Love him.
He can give you an X, he can give you an O.
Yep.
And turn it into a W.
Got a chance to meet him over the summer. Talk with him a little bit. He's a great guy. Great guy, and obviously his resume as a coach speaks for itself.
Oh my goodness, just handed a note. This is a phenomenal one. Iowa State, 59 points they've scored. This is a time high in their series history with Kansas that dates back to the 1800s. In the 101st meeting between these two schools, Iowa State scores the most they've ever scored against the Jayhawks. Tip of the cap to Matt Campbell. Good work by Matt Campbell's Iowa State bunch. After losing a week ago against the Baylor Bears, they come back with their hair on fire and take down Kansas 59-7. Thanks for watching, everybody. For Devin Gardner, I'm Eric Collins. Now it's time for Football Extra, presented by Crypto.com.